Filipino wife or girlfriend, why does she need a visa to Australia? I just had somebody ask me why it's necessary to require visas for Filipinas and Filipinos to go to Australia in the first place. He pointed out that an Australian could go to the Philippines and stay for 30 days. Why does he need a visa to Australia when he doesn't need one to go to the Philippines? Why the disparity? Well, obviously I can't change things, and the client knew this too. Registered migration agents can manage and prepare brilliant visa applications for you, but we have no power over what's set in law. And everything to do with visas and who is or isn't allowed into Australia, it's all governed by laws, written in Parliament and voted on by those fine upstanding representatives that we all vote for. Australia requires visas to enter, and that applies to everyone except those who are already Australian citizens. Everyone else needs a visa. It's not something that's aimed especially at third world countries. English people from Great Britain also require visas to visit Great Australia. So do the Americans. It's not just levelled at the Philippines. Granted, yes, that these other countries, they can apply for electronic travel authorities, also called ETAs, rather than standard tourist visas like Filipinos have to apply for, but they are still visas and they can still be refused. Take some recent cases of white supremacists and gun-toting rap singers who were excluded. That's right, they were visa applications that were refused. Low-risk countries versus high-risk countries. There are countries which are considered low-risk, such as the US, the UK, Canada, most of Europe, Scandinavia, and rich Asian countries like Japan and Korea. These countries allow electronic travel authorities and will have arrangements where their citizens can apply for working holiday visas. Those are the backpacker visas. And these are reasonably easy to get. ETAs are ordered online and take a few days. But note, they are still visas and they can still be refused, and yes, they do get refused. New Zealand citizens are issued subclass 444 special category visas when they arrive in Australia. They're affected when they arrive at the airport. However, if they are undesirable bikie types or anybody with a serious criminal record, they can also be excluded from Australia. For those countries which are considered high risk, they are not able to apply for these easier visas, and yes, they are subject to higher levels of scrutiny due to the risk. Immigration risk. Risk of what? Well, the main risk is overstaying and breaching visa conditions. And why is that? Economics. My standard humorous response to those who ask why it's tougher to get into Australia compared to the Philippines is this. If there were no visa requirements, the Philippines would be empty by about this time next week. Planes would resemble trains in India with people sitting on the wings. They'd be in such a hurry to leave the country. Life is tough in the Philippines if you're not wealthy, and that means most of the country, most of the people here are not well off. Somebody working in an SM mall here, they'll earn about $200 Australian per month. Somebody working in Big W in Australia, they'll earn that in less than 2 days. So the temptation to run off and work for cash money under the radar, it's very tempting. Even getting away with it for 6 months could mean a huge amount to the family back home. People sneak in now even as it is. Imagine what it would be like if there were no visas at all. And do people overstay? Well, yes, all the time. We've come across those who've entered on tourist visas, sometimes with fake passports and fake names, and always with a dodgy story. Australian men have been taken advantage of by girls. Family members have assisted overstayers to get into Australia in the first place. Some of them stay for years. They work in the black economy and they don't benefit Australia even one little bit. Some get involved in selling drugs or prostitution or, some other criminal activity. And it's for reasons like this that there is a requirement for visas. And it's for reasons like this that they scrutinise visa applications so closely. And it's because of the scrutiny that we at Down Under Visa put so much effort into getting information and paperwork from you as part of tourist visa applications and any visa application at all. If you are genuine visa applicants with a genuine relationship and a genuine reason to want to spend some time together in Australia, then we need to prove that your Filipino lady is not preparing to breach visa conditions and overstay in Australia. They don't know either of you from a bar of soap, and this is why we need to prepare a crystal clear picture of you and your situation, so the case officer at the Australian Embassy in Manila will find it easier to make a decision, hopefully in your favour. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it and you would like to subscribe, you can click on the little button down the bottom corner there, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are regular articles on aspects of Australian visas to the Philippines on www.downundervisa.com.au. There's a blog page you can subscribe to. There is a free visa assessment form, and there are regular articles on aspects of Australian-Filipino relationships, which you can see on www.filipinowives.com.au. If you can please share these articles and these videos on any of the social media that you use, we would appreciate that. Thank you.